Folks, good news for Texas, bad news for New York. The financial services industry is shrinking in New York and it is booming in Texas. This has been a trend that has been seen in the past 10 to 15 years. Things like this, they don't happen just overnight. They happen over a period of time, and over years of, on one side, bad policies, on the other side, good policies. When I say on one side bad policies, I'm talking about New York, and on one side good policies, I'm talking about Texas. Texas has been taking people away from New York and California consistently in the past 10 years. And obviously, not all the people who leave New York and California go to Texas. If or come to Texas, if all of them did, the impact would have been seen much sooner than this. Some people don't come to Texas. What they do is they go to Tennessee. There's a lot of folks who move to Tennessee. There's a lot of folks who move to Florida, especially for the financial services guys. They move to Florida. And then a lot of the guys move to Nevada and to Arizona and even to New Mexico, believe it or not. But the lion's share of the people who leave New York and California, they come to Texas. And we've seen this more so on the side of the tech sector, where lots of tech companies have left Silicon Valley and have come to Texas, Austin mostly. And the largest company, obviously, it's been Elon Musk moving almost all of his operations out of California and moving them right here in Texas. But also, what I've been seeing is that, I mean, if you know anything about Houston, is that Houston is, folks, if you've never been to Houston in your life, you need to visit Houston. Houston is one of the most amazing cities in the world. In my view, I think Houston is the best city in the world. Yeah, so, and it is, and part of what makes Houston great is the diversity of the sectors that you find thriving in Houston. You have the energy sector, oil and gas, booming, nuclear, and then you have a large advanced manufacturing space, which is, by the way, I'd say Florida is number one in the union when it comes to advanced manufacturing and automation and all those things. But Houston is also large on that. And then you have a lot of management consultancy firms are in Houston. And then almost all of these investment banks are also in Houston. So you have a large investment bank, banking, financial services space, insurance in Houston. And then what we've seen in the past 10 to 15 years is financial services companies who are leaving New York, moving to Florida and moving right here in Houston. And what we've found now is that JP Morgan Chase, one of the biggest investment banks in the world, has more employees in Texas than it does in New York. Can you believe this? Because everybody knows that the financial hubs of the world are New York City and London. That's really where most of the financial services work happens, in these two cities. But because of the bad policies that have been continuously being implemented by lawmakers in New York City and the state of New York, businesses, including investment banks, have been leaving New York, and they've been coming to the Lone Star State. Wow. You know that in 2024, Texas already surpassed the state of New York in terms of the number of financial services sector employees. Texas in 2024 had 515,000 financial services sector employees, and New York had 507,000 financial services employees, meaning that Texas had more than 15,000 more financial services workers than New York last year already. So, which is to say that when we say that J.P. Morgan has more workers, workers in Texas than in New York, it's not just that it's J.P. Morgan. It's a trend. It's a trend. How else would you explain Texas having more financial services employees, workers than New York, which means that most of these companies who are in the financial services are actively moving their operations out of New York and they are moving them to Texas. This is incredible. My only hope is that you leave that liberal bullshit in New York. You don't bring it down here, please. Please, 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 please. I really hope that. I really hope that. But so JP Morgan employs 31,500 employees in Texas, and this is the highest number that JP Morgan employs in any state, surpassing New York and all of the other states. This is incredible. This basically means that right now, as we speak, Texas is the financial hub of the United States of America, not New York. Wow. Texas is the financial hub of the United States of America. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? And New York, on its part, New York is one of the states that I would never live in New York. Like I don't see myself living in New York. I'm not saying that I would not own property in New York, that I would not go there for business. Obviously, I mean there's money to be made everywhere. But in terms of me living there, be settling there, having it as my primary domicile, that's just not going to happen. Like unless something changes significantly in terms of their policies, it's just not going to happen. Places that I'm never going to live in, it's New York, it's California, it's Illinois, it's any of these places where Democrat policies are running rampant. You are not going to find me living there. It's just not happening. It's just not going to happen. That is if it depends on me. I have to say that. Yeah. But I'm actually quite astonished at the fact that right now, right now, not that in the future, but right now, Texas is the financial hub of the United States of America. Wow. 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 This is so good. So good. So good.